yourself as like a farmer. A farmer plants the seeds, and a farmer waters the seeds, and they have to wait for the seeds to grow. We don't want to wait for the seeds to grow. We want to put water on the seeds, and then the seed just sprout up. That's not how it works. But, I think it can take weeks, maybe months, for a farmer to start to even see some of the seeds even sprout up. So they're watering it every day. Every day they're watering that seed. Every day they water it. They water it. They water it. They don't see nothing for weeks, sometimes months. But they keep watering it because they have the faith that I keep watering the seed. I keep giving it the nutrients it needs. I keep giving it the sunlight it needs. It's going to grow. That's what faith is. You water the seeds and you have the faith it's going to grow. I'm doing everything that needs to be done. It's going to grow. That's what I learned from working out years ago. I don't work out no more, but years ago, I never realized that this would become a thing to look at for insight. When I was working out, I never doubted that I would gain muscle, I would gain weight. I never doubted it. Why didn't I doubt it though? I didn't doubt it because I was eating the right stuff. I was getting the right amount of protein, and I was working out and exercising the right amount of time. I was doing everything I needed to do. Therefore, why would I worry about the results? The results will happen on their own. If I do everything I need to do, if I keep watering these seeds, if I keep watering the right seeds, they have to grow. But the gardener also does, so that the garden doesn't get messed up, they make sure they go and they pull out the weeds. So if I keep watering these seeds and I keep seeing these weeds and making sure I pull out these weeds, I keep watering these seeds and watering these seeds, eventually this horrible looking garden is going to turn into something beautiful if I keep doing it over and over and over. But it takes time. You can't just expect that you're going to water the seed and then tomorrow everything's going to be great and perfect. No, you have to realize I'm going to water these seeds, but there's a lot of weeds in here too. A lot of weeds I need to pull out. A lot of thorns in here I might have to grab and pull out. It's going to hurt to pull them out, but they need to be taken out of this garden. There's a lot of thorns in this garden. And then once you start planting the right seeds, putting the right things into your mind, eventually the mind will grow on your side. The reason your mind seems to be against you, the reason your mind seems to be in a bad place is because you've given it the wrong seeds. The mind is of a nature that it soaks up whatever it is given. That's why some people say they're we just are products of our environment. It's true. You don't have to be a product of your environment, but most people are because they never speculate and look at what's going into their mind, and they just take everything in. And eventually they become just like whatever it is that they're around. People say you become more like those who you're around. Who's the 3-4 most people you're around, that's who you'll become like. And that's because the mind is of the nature to it grabs at whatever is given. It soaks up whatever is given. So if it's given bad things and evil actions, then it will soak that up and it will show and display in your mind and in your life. But once you start to give that same exact mind, that same mind that was against you, that same mind, you give that same mind the good things, you train it in the right way, and then lo and behold, you have a whole new garden. But once you get that new garden and you see it's good, you don't just stop watering the seeds. You want to make sure you keep that garden nice. You want to make sure you continue. When the weeds come in, you pull them out. You want to make sure you continue to water the plants. You don't just, okay, I got a good garden now. Now I can stop and I can walk away from this garden. No, because now when you come back to that garden, guess what? It hasn't got the water it needed. It hasn't got the sunlight it needed. It hasn't got the nutrients it needed. So now the garden has messed up again, and it's all down to where it started. Consistency is important. Consistency, that's the water. You got to consistently do it. You can't choose that I'm going to water it one day and then I'm going to take a break for a week and I'm going to come back and I'm going to water it again. No, you have to water this every single day with the sense of urgency in mind that if I don't water this garden, it's going to become nasty and ugly. If I don't take care of this, if I don't be diligent, if I'm not diligent with my mind, if I'm not diligent with my actions, it's gonna become nasty. You have to remind yourself every second, I'm responsible for the actions I choose to do. But you have to actually see that I'm responsible as a direct result of your situation today. You're responsible for your actions. Therefore, you are responsible for the consequences that come from your actions. Before, maybe you didn't know that there was consequences to your actions, but once you realize there are consequences, you have seen the consequences. Once you have met with evil that you didn't know existed, then you start to turn away from it. You have a choice to make there. Do you believe in evil? If you believe in evil, then that's scary. But if you believe in evil, then you continue to do it. But I have no belief in my heart left for evil. I have no room left in me to believe that evil is the condition that I am stuck in. I have no room in me to believe that sin is my nature and that a sinner is what I will be for my whole life. I have no belief in that. Jesus died on the cross, and when Jesus died on the cross, that was that took away any excuse that anyone has that they're bound to be sinners. People say, I'm only human, I have no choice but to sin. But Jesus came here as a human, and he was sinless and stainless. He was pure. So how can you say that you're bound to sin? You're not bound to sin. You're only bound to sin because you bind yourself to the sin. You don't have to sin. You choose to sin. You don't have to continue to do the things you're doing. You choose to continue to do the things that you're doing. You don't have to remain the same for the rest of your life. You choose to remain the same. And that's a sad case that many people really never change. They really go the whole of their life without ever investing any effort in changing. They remain the same forever. They remain in the same conditions, never seeing anything higher. You have to start to set your eyes above and beyond. You have to set your eyes higher and higher. When you get to a higher place, don't just stop there and say, okay, this is good. No, set your mind higher. Are there higher places I can go? Okay, I'll strive to go there, because I know the higher I go, the safer I am. I know the higher I go, the more protected I am from the bad, evil things. Because you fall into evil. Evil doesn't just come to you. You fall into it by your actions. And I don't know if maybe this doesn't resonate with a lot of people. Y'all like, what is he talking about? But for those of you that it does resonate with, you can understand what I'm saying right now. Stop doing the thing that you know you shouldn't be doing. And you know that that's bad for your mind. You know that watching these videos online, that's bad for your mind. You know that sleeping with multiple people, you know that's not good for you. But you continue to do it and be a slave to your desires and passions. You have to start to make them obey you. You have to start to but you can't do this in a harsh way, like you're gonna beat yourself into submission. You have to do it in a very patient way. You have to practice endurance, and enduring the pain, enduring your consequences, not trying to beat them out the way. You accept the consequences. You accept the consequences. Yes, accept them. Allow them to be seen, but you don't accept them as in the point that, okay, this is where I will remain. You accept them as in, okay, I've gotten here because of these actions I've chosen to do. This is the consequence of that action. Now I will do whatever I can to change this, and I will do whatever I can to make sure that I don't do these things again. So be a gardener. Be like a gardener. Build your garden, water your plants, pull out the weeds, fertilize your soil, and you'll come to realize that once you do this, and once it's built on, not on others, don't try to build your garden with someone else in it. We all picture our life with someone else in it. It's a horrible habit we have as a culture, that we have to depend on other people. Stop building your life in your mind with someone else in it. Build your life from a solitary point of view of me alone, because that's your standpoint. That's where you have to go back to, and that's where you truly are. You're always truly alone. In this mind, it's just you. Everyone has their own mind, and they're truly alone in that mind. Everyone has a mind in a body. We each have this. We have mind and body. Everyone is within their own body, and everyone is within their own mind, meaning everyone is almost in not different worlds, but we're all on the same earth, the same solid rock. But we have this mind that is somewhere else. I'm not sure where it is, but it's not a solid thing. It's somewhere else, and whatever state that mind is in, that creates your perceptions, your ideas, what you see in front of you. So you have to start influencing that mind in better ways. That's all I want to talk about. Y'all have a good one.